Hello, everyone. My name is Wang. Currently, I'm a PhD student in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering at University of Wisconsin-Madison. The topic of my presentation today is integrated sensor-based interface for human-robot collaboration in construction. Over the past decades, the construction robots have gained substantial research efforts due to their potential to improve the construction industry. Advances in robotics makes it possible for the workers and the robots to work collaboratively as a team. This collaboration lightens the workload of the workers and allows them to focus on the tasks that cannot be easily performed by the robots. For the human-robot collaboration, the human-robot interaction is very necessary. So one of the critical steps to promote human-robot collaboration is to provide a user-friendly interface to support their interactions on the construction site. So far, many efforts have been dedicated to the design of the human-robot interfaces. Among them, hand gesture is a very effective channel in the noisy construction environment. They could aid the workers to receive the correct directions without the need for the complicated devices. So wearable sensors could help us capture and interpret the hand gestures. So that's why there are many related work about hand gesture recognition based on the wearable sensors. The sensor-based measures for the gesture recognition can be generally divided into two categories. The first category is the traditional measures. They generally rely on the handcrafted features, such as time domain or frequency domain features. These features would be fed into a machine learning classifier to obtain the final classification result. The second category is the measures based on deep learning. They have become the mainstream in the gesture recognition. Different deep learning architectures have been developed to achieve a higher accuracy and also a faster response. These methods have various applications, such as to identify the sports referee gestures, to understand the sign language, and can also be designed for the human-computer interaction. Although the performance of the existing human-machine interfaces is promising, they are not well prepared for being used on the construction sites. First, it has been well noted that one type of the sensor data may not be enough to address the uncertainties on the construction sites. So it is necessary to fuse the data coming from different sensors to enhance the robustness. Second, most of the current human-robot collaboration methods are one-to-one collaborations. The ability of a human worker to collaborate with multiple robots needs to be further investigated to improve the interaction efficiency. So our project intends to propose an integrated sensor-based framework for the human-robot collaboration in the construction field. This figure shows an overview of the proposed framework. Specifically, the visual detection and the tracking algorithm are firstly conducted using the first-person view frames coming from the eye tracking device. Based on the tracking results and the axis points, the object of interest is then generated. Finally, a real-time system is employed for the gesture recognition. The recognized hand gesture would be sent to operate the object of the interest. In the following slides, I will discuss about these components in detail. For the object of interest generation, the visual detection and the tracking algorithm are firstly conducted to obtain the bounding box of different construction machines. Then the machine is determined as the object of interest if the eye gaze point stays in its bounding box for a duration longer than a threshold. In this study, a proposed tracking by detection paradigm is employed as the visual detection and tracking algorithm. This paradigm uses YOLO V5 as the detector and SALT as the tracker. The hand gesture recognition component can be further divided into three parts, which are data pre-processing, window sliding, and FCN-based hand gesture recognition. Specifically, the raw signals coming from the wearable sensor would be fed into the data pre-processing part first. The raw signals would go through the synchronization, normalization, and smoothing first. After that, a sliding window with a fixed length would slide through all the incoming signals, and the pre-processed data in the latest window would be fed into the FCN-based gesture classifiers to obtain the predicted probabilities for all kinds of the predefined gestures. If the maximum probability is larger than a threshold, the identification of the hand gesture would be triggered, and the corresponding meaning would be sent to operate the object of the interest. The next slide is about the results. For the sensor selection, a type strap tool is selected as a wearable sensor to capture the hand motions. There are 5 3-axis accelerometers and 1 IMU in the type sensor, so there are totally 21 signal channels captured by the type sensor. The maximum frequency can reach out to 200 Hz here. Besides, Tobii Glass 3 is employed as the eye tracking device to get the first-person view frames and also track the eye gaze points. The structure of the Tobii Glass is shown here. We can say that a scene camera is mounted on the front of the eye tracking device to get the first-person views. Four eye cameras are looking at the eyes of the subject to obtain their gaze points. The maximum frequency of the Tobii glasses can reach up to 50 Hz here. This video shows the results of object of interest generation. The red dot here is the eye gaze point, and the blue box is the tracking box, bounding box of the different construction machines. We can say that when the subject was looking at the truck, the eye gaze point will be located in the bounding box of the truck. When the subject was looking at the excavator, the eye gaze point will be located in the bounding box of the excavator. Therefore, the object of interest can be generated. This video shows the test results for the gesture recognition for human-machine interaction. It was conducted in the lab environment to interact with the truck model using the gesture recognition system. A subject was asked to perform the hand gestures wearing the type sensor. This type sensor was connected with the computer through the Bluetooth. The captured hand gestures would be fed into the system and processed there in real time. When a gesture was recognized, the corresponding meaning would be sent to operate this truck model remotely. This video shows the test results of integrating the gesture recognition and object generation. We can say that the subject was wearing the eye tracking device and also the type sensor. When the subject was looking at the subject was looking at the truck and performed the hand gestures, the corresponding meaning would be sent to operate this truck model here. And when the subject was looking at somewhere else and performed the hand gestures, nothing would happen because the subject did not specify which equipment he intended to interact with. This slide is about the congruence. This research presented a sensor-based framework which integrates the eye tracking and the hand gesture recognition for the human-robot interaction in the construction field. It consists of the following components: visual detection and tracking, object of interest generation, and hand gesture recognition. The proposed framework was tested with the lab studies to interact with the robotic dump truck. The test results have shown the potential of the proposed framework for the human-machine interaction in the construction fields. For the future work, I will include more construction hand gestures to make the training and the testing of the gesture classifiers more robust. And that's basically all my presentation here. Thanks for our sponsors. Since I'm not able to attend this conference in person, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me through the following email here. The last slide is about the references. And thank you again.
Okay, thank you. So first, any questions from the auditorium? And any questions from the Zoom? Okay, so first I have two questions I want to ask. So first is because a lot of research using the hand gesture recognition is using the computer vision base instead of the sensor base. So I'm wondering why you choose using the sensor base, and do you have any plan to compare with the vision based method when it's applied to the construction site? And the second question is because you are conducting in the lab scenario in the scaled with the scale model. I'm also wondering if there's when the user is looking at the large scale excavator or dump truck, maybe only part of the equipment will be observed. So in those cases, what will be the situation when the user is able to capture, when the eye tracking is only able to capture the part of the equipment?
Yeah, thanks for your questions. I think for your first question, we have compared the performance based on the computer vision methods and also the sensor-based methods. One advantage of the sensor-based method is that we found that the triggering of the gesture recognition could be earlier for the sensor-based methods. So that's why in this video demonstration we preferred to choose the sensor-based method. And since for your second question, I think this is a very good question. We have not tested our system on the real construction side. We only conducted in the lab environment. And I think this problem may be improved by like improving our object detection and tracking algorithm to see whether when the construction machines did not appear in the whole, like only appear partially in the first person view. And we need to see whether the object detection and tracking algorithm would also work or not. Yeah, and yeah, I think we are going to evaluate the whole proposed framework in the real construction field. Yeah, thanks for your questions.
Okay, thank you. So any other questions? See, there's one question from the chat. Is there any difference between indoor and outdoor environment?
Yeah, that's also a very good question. For the computer vision-based methods, we compare the performance between the indoor and outdoor environment. Of course, and the sunshine conditions, the weather conditions, would impact the gesture recognition accuracy. But for the sensor-based methods, they are robust to such conditions. So yeah, that's also another advantage why we prefer the sensor-based methods to realize the hand gesture recognition on the construction site.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So
thank you all.
Final call for the questions. Right. If there's not, then let us join me to thanks again for Xinguang's presentations.
Thank you all.
And let's conclude our session. Let's conclude this session today. Thanks all the participants and the presenter to join this session. And we would like to close this session. Thanks.
Thank you. So now we are going to do a coffee break until 5 p.m.